gonna get back to it.
On my knees in front of Baba G. He's telling me that I'm used up. No one's gonna want me. I've been passed around. I'm a pass around. All this demonic to my face, and I'm just taking it.
After she went back inside to say goodbye, she described how Eligio grabbed her hand and took her into another room, refusing to let her leave without sleeping with him one last time. Janae repeatedly refused Eligio, but eventually relented, later saying in court that she felt powerless to say no at this moment. Janae also talked about this in an interview, and although there is, of course, no graphic detail included here, viewers are still advised to skip forward if you feel her testimony may be troubling for you.
That's when he started taking me into the other room, and I said, no, stop. Like, I really gotta go at this point. Like, then my Uber's outside. So he takes me into the other room, and I start crying in his arms. Because, I don't know, I just was emotional. Everything was just, like, piling up on me. The Uber done left me, so I felt like I was trapped there again. And I was like, oh my God, like, I just missed the Uber. Like, and he's telling me, I'm not gonna let you go. You know, you're my bitch, you're my property. I didn't want to, like, resist him. I didn't want to, like, you know, because any of that, because it was just like, if I felt like if I was gonna resist him and I already done left, the Uber done left, and my friend is calling me, like, back to back, asking me if I'm okay. And I'm just, like, being a stupid ass, like, letting him manipulate me back into the situation and allowing him to have sex with me. So at this point, I was like, oh my God, I'm stupid as because I'm a sucker for fucking love. Like, he knows exactly what to do to get me back. And at this point, in my mind afterwards, I'm telling him I still want to go. And he's like, shut up, you my bitch. Like, you're not going nowhere, you're my property. Just hurry up and get over that shit and let's go. Like, you wasting time.
It is worth noting here that Janae's description of allowing Eligio to have sex with her in this interview would later be labeled as proof by Eligio's followers that she fabricated rape allegations against him, despite her describing how she asked him to stop in this same section of the interview. The law states that consent given under pressure or duress is not consent. It must be given freely, and this was clearly not the case here. The group's attempts to discredit Janae only served to show how deeply they were brainwashed at this time, choosing to defend a rapist rather than consider they might be wrong about their leader. Janae escaped later that night, and Eligio posted explicit videos of them on social media in an effort to degrade her even after she had left. Janae would describe in a later interview how this humiliation almost made her return to the cult.
And it just made me feel like I was nothing. It made me feel like I had to go back. You know, that's how bad the manipulation is, and that's when I started to study. When I felt, after seeing the revenge point, I'm like, oh my God, like, for a second, I was like, I'm gonna have to go back because I don't know where else I'm gonna go. No one's gonna want me. He has this online, it's everywhere. Everybody's thinking I'm going back. They're forcing me back. I felt a pull, trying to pull me back. And when I went to the authorities, I was basically fighting for my life. I didn't know what to do but to say something. Like, please help me. This man is doing this to me, you know?
2 days after assaulting Janae, Eligio went live.
All of you just belong to the three, and I will have my way with you as I see fit. I am not a man. I am not a woman. I am God.
This stream was absolutely unhinged and is essentially just Eligio flexing his control of his followers to the world.
There's no authority. There's no one you can call.
Hold up. Live disconnected. But yeah, alright.
To the place I will send you if you ever turn on me. Don't look at me, you f***ing imbeciles. Why are you looking at me? Down! Sit up. Oh, you feel my energy, don't you? You're under my will, you feel that? No, you're not high. You're under my will. I took the, look at these, this nothing, look at this regular shit I'm dealing with. Get out of my presence, move, all of you, leave me, immediately. Make it snappy, you got 3 seconds, out the room now, immediately, out, 1, 2, 3.
It seems plausible that Eligio is demonstrating his grip on his remaining followers in an effort to repair his ego, which would have been damaged by Janae's exit. Janae would report the assault to the police, and on the 13th of April 2022, Eligio Bishop was arrested following a raid on the Carbonation house in DeKalb County. He was charged with rape, false imprisonment, and revenge porn relating to his treatment of Janae. In the 2 years between Eligio's arrest and trial, members of Carbonation showed their loyalty to their leader by proclaiming his innocence on any platform they could find.
He's extremely loving, extremely forgiving, literally wouldn't hurt a fly. This is one of the most troubling experiences I've ever had. The man that most people refer to as NatureBoy, I refer to him as God. I believe that he is God.
As previously mentioned, it was particularly disappointing to see the attempts to discredit Janae, as members tried to paint her as a bitter ex-lover of Eligio's and parroted his own misogyny in defense of their idol.
Nobody, how you gonna go prostitute?
Well, we don't even get her energy in those videos, and you tell me if she was being.
Black women are being used as a catalyst to put a lot of black men away behind bars, especially when they're angry.
The trial of NatureBoy began on the 22nd of February 2024, and it was as chaotic as you might expect by this point in the story.
That is crazy.
Eligio's defense tried to paint Janae as a bitter ex-lover and diminish Eligio's abuse of his followers by calling active cult members to the stand to speak out on their leader's behalf. One member was thrown out of court during testimony for claiming that Eligio was being maliciously prosecuted.
So Mr. Bishop was being initially prosecuted.
She just said, you know what? He just lost his right to stay in the courtroom.
Another member tried to say that Eligio making girls slap Janae was not abusive, but simply to emulate the Will Smith-Chris Rock slap at the 2022 Oscars. Prosecutors pointed out that the Will Smith slap took place on the 27th of March 2022, after the incident in question.
And you realize the Chris Rock slap was March 27th, 2022, right?
I'm not aware of that.
So it was after this incident occurred.
The prosecution called on former members, including Janae, to testify about their experience in Carbonation, each of whom painted a picture of a group of vulnerable people being routinely victimized by a narcissistic leader.
And how many times do you think you told him no before you said okay? If you just had to...
I don't, so many times I couldn't count. He interrupts me and says, shut up. You're my property. You're not going anywhere.
And other things that I wouldn't consider quote unquote rules, but were non-negotiable things in the group was that every woman had to have sex with NatureBoy or have some type of sexual fantasy with him. And a lot of times when that would happen, it would be forced and non-consensual.
As a quick aside, this expert analysis of these victims' statements in this court TV coverage made for pretty shocking viewing, with panelists showing a huge amount of apathy toward the victims and making sexist comments and jokes about the case.
She's saying it's non-negotiable. Most relationships aren't really negotiable. It's normally the woman who's holding you hostage. But she could have left if she wanted to.
Note to self: gotta get me a cult.
And the only way for Al to get a date is to get a cult.
Oh, I am getting a cult, fan. I am going to get cult, but I'm going to be known as Sensation Al.
Is this the R. Kelly trial all over again? Is this Atlanta Housewives? Maybe the show?
Wait, R. Kelly got convicted, right?
Yeah. So
okay, so that was a crime.
The attitude on display here actually serves to show how incredibly dismissing society can be towards rape as a crime. According to data from the American Medical Association, rape is the most underreported violent crime, and a shockingly low number of cases will end in a conviction. This is partially due to the fact that the dismissive attitude we see from members of this panel permeates society, leading to victims feeling they won't be taken seriously if they come forward, and no legal punishment will ultimately be inflicted on their abuser. With this in mind, whatever their opinions on these specific victims' testimony, it feels incredibly damaging to see a panel of supposed experts analyze a sexual assault case in such an unserious manner. And it is surprising that this was uploaded to the Court TV YouTube channel and remains there at the time of writing. The court heard audio of Eligio's 2022 arrest interview where he defends his actions by describing himself as a ladies' man and saying the revenge porn was filmed for educational purposes.
I'm not a little girl. I'm a ladies' man. I got like 5, 6 women. I'm a girl for. They come to me.
Why would anybody accuse you of that?
Because they mad. I have a video showing how we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like when she's incomplete, she's like literally going through the spiritual journey. It's a spiritual video, like showing that the vagina, like it was really like an educational thing, right? And so I have the whole footage, like literally, like, and when she left, she was mad And then she just flipped on me and said revenge porn. Because what happened was, on my Twitter, when she left, I thought she wouldn't believe it. I was like, oh, fuck. So when she left, it was still on Twitter. So she said, she didn't ask me, she didn't call me and say, can you take that down? Because we did that together, can you take that down? She didn't do that. She just said revenge porn. And I know it's my haters, you know, saying, you should get on this. They're literally doing everything they can to put me in jail.
You think she'll like the fact that she being exposed on Twitter? Like,
Eligio's behavior throughout the trial was predictably disrespectful. He was reprimanded for recording the following Instagram Live from jail after a day in court.
So yeah, y'all, the judge caught COVID. She tested positive for COVID. They don't want you to know that. They're trying to hide that. Out of all the cheating they did in this case, the judge tested positive for COVID. They don't say that on the news. They just trying to protect her some kind of way so she won't be shown to have tested positive for COVID. Out of nowhere. See, you can cheat all you want with this man law, but at the end of the day, there's the laws of the universe. See, you're being corrupt, and it's the laws of the universe, and this is what happened. She tested positive for COVID. I tell my lawyer, this is when I know I'm getting railroaded, because I'm telling my lawyer, I'm saying, like, I don't want to go in there with her with COVID. They're already cheating on me. They're cheating in the case as it is. I don't want to go in there right now.
Eligio also tried to fire his lawyer during proceedings and repeatedly argued with the judge about her positive COVID test, seemingly thinking this was his way out of the trial.
The COVID issue has been resolved. The attorneys are fine going forward. The jurors are fine going forward. I'm wearing a mask. It's not an issue.
Is that on record?
Yes, everything is on the record.
All right, let's look at his charges. We got rape. Oh, wait. We got rape, false imprisonment, 3 counts on prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. That's crazy.
Fire my attorney if I can find new counsel.
That is not an option. Okay, you're not listening to me, Mr. Bishop. Those are the 2 options you have at this juncture. Period. Nobody in the back can help you. Look at me. I'm talking to you. 2 options. Proceed with Mr. Booker or proceed pro se and represent yourself, which is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
Why is that my only 2 options?
That's the law, Mr. Bishop. Period. That's the law.
So I'm not allowed to seek other counsel?
Not in the middle of trial. No, sir.
Even if I'm not being represented right?
Sir, that's the ruling. Do not argue with me.
Is that on record?
Everything is on record, Mr. Bishop. Everything is on the record.
What about the COVID?
We've already discussed that, sir. You're trying everything you can to not go forward with this trial. But
because I'm not being treated fair.
Okay, you are entitled to your opinion, Mr. Bishop. I'm not going to argue with you. But we are moving forward with the trial. Do you want to stay in the courtroom for the remainder of the proceeding, Mr. Bishop? And participate in this trial?
Participate?
Yes. Testify, not testify, be here when witnesses testify.
Whether I'm here or not, this is going to go forward?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
Who will be representing me if I fire my lawyer?
You. You will represent yourself. Those are your choices.
And if I represent myself and not choose to be in the court, then who will represent?
Nobody. Nobody.
Okay, I wanted to fire my attorney and not be in court.
Okay.
It was actually particularly interesting to watch Eligio struggle with not being in control of his surroundings. He clearly imagines himself the victim of a conspiracy. And for a misogynistic narcissist, it is hard to imagine a more distressing situation than a trial by a female judge, leading to his attempts to scramble for any little control he could exert over proceedings. It is also interesting to note that Eligio claims to be terrified about contracting COVID in 2024, when he was arrested for breaking pandemic restrictions in 2020 at the height of the virus. But this is just another indication that his views can change depending on what suits his needs at any given moment. Eligio would ultimately refuse to be in the courtroom for his sentencing due to anxieties about COVID, exercising what little control he had over his trial right up until the last moment. Victims gave impact statements detailing their experience in carbonation and Eligio's treatment of them. Each statement is beautifully delivered and powerful in its own way, and the link to the full sentencing hearing is included in the description for anyone interested in listening to more of them. Former member Kendra gave an incredibly powerful statement describing the abuse she had faced in the cult.
I would have never joined carbonation in 2017 if I knew that in 2020 Bishop would order other women to beat me until I curled up in a fetal position in order to surrender. I would have never joined in 2017.
Bro, what is good with this nigga, yo?
In 2017, if I knew that in 2020 Bishop would order other women to beat me until I curled up in a fetal position in order to surrender. I would never join this military if I knew that I would be forced to watch as he beat a woman in front of all of us on the 4th of July of 2020 during a picnic in the park. I would have never joined if I knew that he would eventually separate other men from the women so that he could force every woman to have sex with him whether they wanted to or not. I would live in fear every day, not knowing who he would hurt that day, who he would order us to hurt, or if I would be hurt that day. He often responded to any resistance from the women with whipping them with a leather belt over and over while he laughed and made the rest of us watch. He would make us lay flat on ourselves while he walked around in a rage, taunting us, degrading us, kicking us, and stomping on us, beating us into submission. He said we were his property and that he could do anything he wanted to us. No one was coming to save us in these foreign countries. He said no one cared about black girls like us, not in America or anywhere else. If we told anyone, we would be being disloyal, betraying the Christ, the Messiah. We would be going against God. In fact, we should be grateful that we get to be in his life, he said. No one else loved us like he did. He said he loved to dominate us and the feeling of being able to hurt us or kill us at any moment. He said that if he killed us, no one would know or care. So I push myself every day to stay on my best behavior in order to survive because my son needed a mother and I didn't want to die. It took months for me to stop blaming myself for the abuse and the sexual assault. With support from those in my life that truly love me, I was able to finally stop protecting my abuser and speak up about what happened to me and so many other young people. It's a shame even young children were involved as well, and not everyone made it out safely and alive. I never willingly joined a destructive sex cult, and in the end I learned that is exactly what it was. I, like so many others, wanted to make a positive impact in the world, not to be hurt, abused, and used, exploited by Eligio Bishop. So many people have prayed for this day where justice is finally being served. And I thank everyone who heard us and who saw us and who fought for our freedom.
Janae gave a statement addressing Eligio directly, telling him he would eventually have to accept his actions.
Mr. Bishop, Babaji, has been a monster to us all, and we tried to see the best in him. He has tortured all of our souls and said he would send us to the abyss if we ever defied him. He made us believe that he was Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and for that alone is punishable. I hope this opens his eyes, and I pray that the people who are there with him are set free themselves, so they can stop living in the illusion that this man has placed on our minds. Eligio, you made us to be liars when we lived in truth, wanted to live in truth. Eligio, you demolished our connection with God just so you can be God. And you haunted our dreams like the monster you are. You damaged us all. You confused us all. Eligio, you have atoning to do. You were our guide, but now you're a prisoner, like you prisoned us. Now you're a prisoner, like you imprisoned us.
Damn.
And I even now pray that God has mercy on your soul. God will have mercy, I hope, for you. And this time there's no escaping, no running, no hiding. Face yourself and sit there until you understand why you're there. No Leroy, no Dr. Bishop, not even Three God or NatureBoy will be there to save you. It's only you and God, the real God.
Throughout the victim's statements, Eligio can be seen smiling, laughing, and talking to the officers around him. And when the judge asked if he had any final words before sentencing, he chose to address his victims directly.
You just want to testify about getting the truth?
For sure. At all times.
All right, what is it you'd like me to consider?
I just want to say something to all of them.
Well,
I just want to say.
Just direct it to me, please, not to.
I'll direct it to you. I'll direct it to you.
Chat, how y'all feel about this?
Are you happy? Are you happy?
I'm not answering any questions of yours, Mr.
I forgive you. I forgive you, and I still love you. I forgive you, and I still love you.
See, man, that's that manipulation. Yeah, right there. See, I'm on TikTok, so I'm not trying to. Man, that's that manipulation. shite right there, man. He's still gonna tell him I love you, this, that, and the third. You feel me? He's done this a million times, man.
No, nothing in my heart. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. I forgive you. I want you to know I still love you and forgive you. And kiss my baby girl and let her know I love her. And I love y'all. I will never, I promise you, you know how I am. In my heart, you know how I am. I still love you. I still fuck with you. I still love you.
All right.
I
got that.
No hate.
Okay.
No hate.
Is there anything else?
My heart light as a feather. I promise you I love you and I'm still here. I ain't missed one lick. I see what y'all doing and I want you to know I forgive you. And I see y'all in the end.
All right, thank you.
I love you. I love you.
All right, I just needed the quote.
All right, bro.
Eligio's disrespectful manner was addressed by the judge as she handed down her sentence, calling him a master manipulator and the definition of a narcissist, as she sentenced him to life in prison.
You know, I would have been inclined to exercise some discretion had Mr. Bishop shown any remorse, guilt, or regret throughout this process. And I saw nothing during the trial but for him laughing and cutting up and looking shocked and surprised at all of the testimony. Mr. Bishop, you're a master manipulator and probably the classic definition of a narcissist that I've ever seen. I am going to follow the recommendation of the state in this case. So it's life without parole plus 10 years.
Over the next 2 years, members of Carbonation would start to come forward with tell-all interviews describing their experience in the cult. These interviews were used for information throughout this video and are all interesting and insightful. They are linked in the description for anyone interested in researching the case further. In August of 2024, what appeared to be the remnants of Carbonation would be evicted from squatting in a house in DeKalb County.
We don't sell our souls, sir.
Huh?
We do not sell our soul.
Well, I don't want you to sell your soul. I just want you to come talk to us.
In the same month, it was reported that Eligio had been hospitalized after a prison fight. His wives, who are a few of the last members still loyal to him, would respond to this in a live, putting on full display how they continue to be brainwashed to this day.
He was jumped. Four niggas jumped on him and stabbed him out of nowhere. Just stabbed, my nigga.
I'm tired of y'all playing in his face. Like he not the crazy, like he not God. You speaking of God. Hey, hey. Yeah, he ain't dead. He ain't dead. His spirit lives through us. His spirit lives through us, and we right here.
Yeah.
We right here. We right here. It's not European. Nah, you a nigga.
My hair look.
Nah, you a nigga. I'm a nigga. I'm a nigga. I got nappy roots. I got nappy roots. I got coil that tight. The tighter the coil, the stronger the electromagnetic field. The stronger you are connected to source. The stronger you can communicate and talk to God.
Come on.
Not no straight stringy hair. These charges on him, but they put him as a cult leader. Cult leader.
Come on now. He's a cult leader.
Who is a cult leader? Is a cult leader. But Europeans do shit like that to become cult. We ain't no damn cult leader.
We can only hope that given time, these women will begin to realize the true nature of the man they follow. A false prophet is defined as a person who falsely claims the gift of prophecy or divine inspiration, or who makes such claims for evil ends. Eligio Bishop may have started his cult to inspire others, as he claims, but he ultimately...
I don't understand the power of that brainwash. Like, you could use this for good or evil, bro. You could really use this for good or evil. Y'all don't understand the power of this, bro.
ended up inflicting trauma on everyone around him, as he abandoned enlightenment for control and sexual gratification. All the best lies have elements of truth, and some of the early tenets of melanation have their base in truth. The modern world can be brutal and confusing, and society is riddled with inequality, making it easy to feel it could be better to live a simple life away from any hardship you're going through. Unfortunately, damaged people with this mindset were the perfect victims for Eligio Bishop's teachings and abuse. A man who, in his own words, experienced a complete lack of control throughout his childhood in the prison and foster care systems, and horrific abuse at the hands of his foster parents, only to perpetuate the cycle of abuse by controlling and abusing every person who followed him. We
it's not about white supremacy, bro. It's not about white supremacy, bro. This is about this dude being hella manipulative. What the heck, bro? Get off. Yo, yeah. Let me go to the notification. Nope. No sounds. Alright. He said, I don't know if any type of brainwash would make me think that man is God. Yeah. Shit.
We can only hope that all the people traumatized by Bishop's actions will be able to find comfort in his sentence and knowing that he was, finally, held responsible for his actions. The Carbon Nation case teaches us to beware of false prophets in our own lives.
I don't know, man.
As
man.
We are bombarded on a daily basis.
One thing I know for sure is if you're able to say anything with conviction and have facts to back it up, but they're your own facts, but they sound correct, you could trick anybody, bro. You feel me? If you stand strong in your truth, bro, can't nobody tell you nothing. Like, what? And you could use that for good or bad. You feel me? Your choice, bro. Your choice. You could use that for good or bad. But I'm about to get into this next reaction, though. After this, I'm off stream. But yeah, brainwashing could make or break you. Exactly.